Hey everybody, so I just want to show you this diagram that I drew. I'm going to use this to explain how software development works and how companies run software, and how it's basically like a hospital. So that being said, let me explain this to you as quickly as I can. So the doctor represents the software developer. The patients represent the users. The guy at the top, who is the owner of the hospital, represents the software owner, the owner of the software. The hospital actually represents the software. And the receptionist, I'll talk more about that later, but that's basically like that's like your artificial intelligence. So this license right here represents the work that the doctor has put into his practice. And the owner can have a license, and the owner can consult with the patients and make the money from those consultations. But without a licensed doctor, the owner cannot treat those patients. So down here at the bottom, you've got like they can only watch, they can take notes, but they cannot actually treat the patients without a licensed doctor. So now, there are different types of doctors. There are like orthopedic surgeons, there are like anesthesiologists, there are like, I don't know, OBGYN. There are different types of doctors within the hospital that treat different conditions. And so that doctor can actually take their practice outside of the hospital. Like, let's say it's just like a general physician who's dealing with people who are sick. They can take their license out of the hospital and treat people from just a like commercial property. It doesn't even have to be commercial. So, doctors used to do house calls back in the day, and they still, I'm sure, to some extent do to today. But so the point that I'm trying to make is that as the owner of the software, if you are paying a developer to build software, you cannot take the doctor's license away from them. You have to hire multiple doctors, multiple developers to do different things. But you like as a doctor, you cannot allow the hospital owner to take your license from you if you leave the practice. So that being said, like, do not sign an NDA. Do not sign an NDA, because it would be like like a ghostwriter or something, just basically signing away their, life's work. But you just don't want to, as an owner, as somebody who, if you're hiring a developer to work for you, do not ask them to sign an NDA. Don't force them to sign an NDA. Developers do not sign NDAs. And if you leave, that means that you can take what you've been working on and apply it into other scenarios and continue with your practice. So now, that being said, that pretty much explains it. So just to recap, you've got the doctor, who is the developer. The doctor has a license, which is what they have worked on their entire life, or whatever their entire time as a doctor. And the doctor has to be licensed in order to treat the patients, who are the users, who come in through like automations, which the receptionist represents automations, who then gives the money, because they collect the money and they give it to the business owner. And the business owner, if they have a license, they can treat the patients. But if they don't, they just have to watch the doctor, because usually the owner is not going to be treating the patients. They're just going to be making the money from it. So anyways, that being said, that's all I got for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.